Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching. What's going on, freaks? Yeah, I don't know why the doesn't really fill the screen like it used to. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Does that work? No? That's weird. Who knows, man? Who knows? Thanks, Richard Watts. All right. You know, the YouTube channel that trashes me all the time, they've got 2 strikes, and it doesn't matter what I say on the show. Like, if I say something on the show and I realize, like, maybe I should have said that, and I say, hey, you guys, sorry for saying that, they always pick up on those little things. And then they post about it on the YouTube to get people to go to another place where they can continue their stalking and just really, sort of vile behavior. It's so weird. I mean, who the hell has that much time? It's just crazy. Go do something else, for God's sake. I'm a person. You guys are freaking sick monsters. Weird stuff. Weird stuff. That's actually 270 now. Oh, so why is it? Hey, what do you guys think of this one for my? Let's see, for the Blazers one. It's pretty cool, right? But the name color would be different. I don't even think a name should be on there, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know why it's not. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't fill out to the right and left like it normally does. I have no idea. Well, I hope you're okay there, Richard. Jeez. Anyways, I figured we could just do a show tonight where people ask questions. You can even come in to the show if you want to. I don't get it. This is just really weird. What's going on the screen here? There's like 2 different. Oh, okay. Not sure why this one. Let's see. If I go to this, I don't know. Okay, that has 2 screens. And then this one. Now I'm trying to use StreamYard, but for some reason it's working differently tonight. Don't know. Maybe based on all the different cases we've covered, etc., you guys can ask questions. Yeah. All right, start asking questions, you guys, about stuff you've been wondering about, thinking about. You can ask me questions about me if you want to. Anything. Again, so catching you live in the UK. Sorry about that. You should get him to wear a get a CPAP for him. Probably needs one. Probably hasn't slept good in a long time. Still not one question. Hope it's not one of those nights again. It's just, oh boy. I don't know. Yeah, if you have a question about it, but you're still following Sebastian Rogers? My God, what's happening over there? I don't know when she's coming back on. You guys don't show up when she's on, anyways. It's really kind of disheartening. She's like the smartest person out there, and then people, oh, this isn't about the Koberger case. It's not about. Okay, forget it then. It's really sucks, you know. It's like she's one of the smartest people on the planet. And, you know, you get 90 people watching when she comes on and is a guest. All right. Well, what's the question? Yeah, this is, you guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about. But this is another show, you guys, so we're still trying to keep moving forward, reaching goals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And currently we're really slow start yet again. Let's see, the shabby chicken. When is Doc? I don't know. The dogs are okay, I guess. Yeah. Benny's kind of a problem. Just really, you know, I don't know. It's like somebody must have done something to him because he's so like, yeah, ever since we got him, you can't even if you try to pick him up, he kind of goes, I don't know. You know? And, you know, like you can pick him up and stuff, but he doesn't like you call his name and he'll just sit there until you walk over and then you have to sort of pick him up. And then, I don't know. It's frustrating. And then he just goes nuts if somebody else shows up to the house. Just barks and barks and barks, and then it riles the other dogs up, and they were all mellow. So it's kind of frustrating. I think it's better to have 3 than 4, but we have 4, so we'll have to try to figure out how to make it work. Yeah, we've said that a bunch of times, Elena. I've got, how many channel members do I have? I don't know. I mean, subscribers? 179,000. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. I don't know the Amy Bradley case. Jonathan Clark, somebody talked to me about it a while ago, but then there really hasn't been anything since then. That one's crazy. You know, that's a case that it's a little shocking wasn't bigger, you know, especially with the video and the Ring doorbell and then the actual shooting, and, you know, it seems like people would have been interested in that. Didn't they used to fill up my whole screen here? I wonder, oh, maybe I picked, am I streaming in horizontal? Oh no, I have no idea. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. Weird. I have no idea what's happening. Why the screen looks like that. Yeah, it was kind of creepy. I mean, is there any cases out there that people are talking about? You know, I've gone around and looked at, like, everybody's channel isn't doing great. And I don't know what the hell's happening. I mean, look at it right now, tonight. We've got Richard Watts, $2, dead as a doornail, you know? I mean, who knows what's happening? I don't know anything about Amy Bradley. Is it new? This one? Ex-police clerk demanded $50,000 for Amy Bradley's location. I don't know. I don't know about it. With identifiers, I don't know. Maybe the torso case where they're kind of experimenting because it's so bad DNA. They're just trying to do a couple of these different things to see if they can get a sequence, I guess, and then if that works, they'll use it on the other case with the kid with the bicycle, because apparently his is worse. Yeah, I've talked about Ellen Greenberg. I don't know. I started watching that documentary on it. It seemed pretty interesting, but it's one of those ones covered by everybody so many times. And if I covered it, I'd still have 120 people watching. It's just the same thing. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm in landscape mode, but why is it cutting off the edges? Can you get? Does it look like that to you? It's weird. I don't know. Really bizarre. Usually that one fills up the whole screen. Yeah, it's a virtual camera. And then weirdly, if you go into this, shit. So you go like that. Can you guys see more now? But then it's like, that was. Let's see. Does that do that? Let me see if it works if I do that. Hold on. Did the same damn thing. Hey, thanks, Vivacious Val.
Keep up great work, Ray.
Yep. And thank you so much. I was very kind. Yeah, I just don't know why it's fit. Bill, is that the one? Let's see. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's no phone number to call in, but you can come in on that link right there. I'll pin it at the top. Have I seen you before, Heather? Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the screen. No, that's not the one. See, it doesn't. It's something to do with the camera. It's weird. Don't know what's happening there. No, there hasn't been any updates on Lauren AG. Not that I don't even think my opinion is she just fell off. That's what I think. You know, that's just when people drink, they do things, and she just sort of slipped off and fell. And I mean, some of the stuff, you know, they were trying to make it seem like there's this triangle from the canoe, and that wasn't the case. It was a design on one of the hatches on the police boat. If you don't know who Lauren AG is, it would take too long to explain it. Let's see. Investigate why Grant Hughes doesn't have a short posted on his channel of the "I can't believe you had Gray on the show" Vinny tonight. I don't know. Should I do it? I can't believe you had Gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again. There you go. You got one right there. I should probably put that on there. I don't know. This is really strange because I'm using a virtual camera and it literally is the whole screen. And then for some reason in here, it's not doing that. I wonder if there's a particular reason. What happens if I go like, oh, jeez. Okay. Must have been something I was doing. I don't know. But there it is. There's these other, like there's this little thing that you can choose from. And the one I picked before looks exactly like that one. So there it is. Okay. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Full screen. Yeah. That was weird a minute ago. It makes me happier. All right. So let's get some super chats going, you guys. We got to get the night going. We're now at the halfway point of the month tonight. Last night we I donated 500, and I think we brought in super chats right around the same number, but they get, then it's 350 from after YouTube. But come on, man. The only way this channel is surviving now is by you guys helping every night. I can't get a video to get over 2,000 views to save my life. Maybe 3,000. I don't know if you guys are interested. I could show you the numbers on the last 4 videos and the ad revenue. You'd probably be shocked. So right, that's right. I mean, I think I'm one of the only channels that covers cases the right way. Literally the factual elements all the way through, quickly eliminating bullshit and keep moving forward. Lots of people will be watching your videos. I doubt it. No, see, the thing is I've looked at that. That doesn't happen. I have videos that I made 3 months ago that are phenomenal, like timeline videos with the Elantra moving around, and they don't get watched, 1 view a week. It's like there's nobody's watch. Nobody does that. They just kind of, it's got to be new. It's not like how to build something, Well, you're the only one, but that doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You have to have thousands of views to make $10. Are you there? Wait, hold on. I gotta turn off the echo thing. All right, you there, Heather? Heather, you there?
Yes. Hi. You hear
What's
me?
going on? Yeah, I can see.
Hi.
Well, what's going on? You're on the show.
So, first of all,
yeah.
I have followed you since the Delphi case.
Yeah.
I would go back and forth between you and Murder Sheets for a while, and then hidden true crime. And I kind of quickly learned I only could depend on you guys and hidden true crime.
Uh-huh.
And then we got those weird people that started, especially after I.
You're quiet. You're not saying anything. Hello?
I'm sending you my total accrued ad revenue in support of level-headed investigative discourse. Thank you for what you do, sir.
Oh, thank you. Are you still there, Heather? I don't know if you lost your mic or just went dead as a doornail. Heather, you somehow, let's see, are you not muted or anything, right? No.
Thumbs up emoji. Hit it.
I don't know what happened to her. Why don't you exit and try to come back in? I don't know. You must have lost something. Yeah, well, you're still sitting there, though. Let me remove it. Okay, try coming back in again or something. Yeah, try it again. Thanks, Jeffrey Sidal and Lizzie Robb and Life is Driving. I'm sending you my total accrued ad revenue. I don't know, man. That'd be great. That'd be a good video. Yeah, I'm just waiting for, I don't know where you are. Just call back, come back in. That's the link's up at the top there. You died right in the middle of a sentence. Can you guys hear me though? Because I had to put it on echo cancellation. Yep, I'm still waiting. Where the hell is that? All right, so the last videos, we'll go all the way back to, how about Marsha Allen's Marsha Allen interrogation, that other case, right? So that one, let's see. I'm not even sure you guys can see the screen or not, but man, God, everything's all over the place. I can't control the screens. Are you trying to call back in? There's a link at the top if you want to call in, Heather. Yeah, let's see. So the video from the other day, that other case that I had all the files from, that very first one, let's see, that one, ad revenue was $6.54, or $6.05, excuse me. I was wrong. $6.05. And the next video, so after that one, the very next video, that one made a whopping, $9.71. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, and then we go into the Delphi case where I played the transcripts. Let's see, that one, the very first one in there made, and let's see, and ad revenue $10. Or let's see, that one made $47.41, so that was better than the other ones. So that was the only one that performed whatsoever. 47.4, and that's not even that good, though, right? I mean, you know, it's like you spend all those hours making it. Then the one after that, the Keegan Kline and Tony Liggett one, that one brought in $16.15. And these are, you know, so you imagine adding these all up over a few days. Like it's like, you know, we're not even at $100 yet. You know, it's ridiculous. And then right now, this one, the next video after that was 2836. That was the Jerry Holman one. That's because nobody's watching them. I mean, the number of people it's crazy. Then the next one with Lesenby, that one made $20.56. I mean, that's shocking. And the thing is that his video only got viewed 2,000 times. So imagine if that had 20,000 views, that would have been $200. And then I could, that would be, you know, reasonable. And they should get 20,000, but they don't. You know, they're just languishing. Then the very next one after that, those are both from today, so we don't know yet. But I think they're going to be pretty bad. So there you go. There was the breakdown for you. Pretty crazy, right? Now imagine being somebody like Candace Owens, who, you know, gets 600,000 to 1 million views. Yeah, if I pivoted over to conspiracies, yeah, I'd be doing really well. But it's not ethical, so we're not doing that. Man, it's just so weird. The setup isn't the same even on YouTube when you scroll around. Crazy. All right, you guys, we only got one gifted channel membership tonight. Any chance we could get a few more of those? There's a lot of people in here that aren't members, so you didn't call back, Heather. Well, it is working. I mean, it's right there. I can see the screen. The cold case. I can't really think of one that I want solved at this point more than others. Most of the ones that I had on that list have been solved. Yeah, I don't know. What about you? What cold case do you guys want solved the most? Yeah. Oh yeah, Jean Bonnet would be cool if you got a true answer. That would be kind of cool. Oh yeah, the garage sale one that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Barraza. That's what I was just thinking. Barraza. I forgot her first name. Oh, there's Scott said Liz. There you go. See, I remember Barraza. All right. Thank you, Dixie Hippie. Yeah, we already said we already see Liz up there. Can't you see? No need to type it in 14 times. Well, thank you, Vivacious Val, again. At least we got somebody supporting the channel tonight. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, do you have any questions about any of the stuff that you were wondering about? Like, wow, how did you do that? Or what did you anything? I think I've done, haven't I done keys? Yeah. And if you put it in a super chat, I'll see it better. The question. Have you noticed like other people like Paramount Tactical? He gets every single super chat he gets, there's a question in it. I think that'd be amazing to have a question, questions in there that I can answer. Hey, what was that name? Keese. How come that seems familiar? I don't think I did that one. Would have been in there. I've heard of it. I mean, how about, the biggest one of them all, the Zodiac? I mean, wouldn't you want to get that person? Wait, isn't Keese the one where, yeah, I've done this one. I have covered this. I was just looking at her face and I thought it's the one where there's a guy walking by a metal gate. And there it is right there. I covered this. I don't know why it's not in Google Maps, but there's been a couple times where I lost everything and I had to go back to a previous version. So I don't even have all the cases that I've covered, even though there's a ridiculous amount on this one. But I definitely did cover this case. 100%. No, there. Oh, there is Jennifer. This one. Yeah, I did do it. I found it. I spelled it wrong. You spelled it wrong up above. Or you spelled it right. I spelled it wrong. Yeah, so I did this one. You probably find it somewhere on my videos.
Jessica Orton Lyman and her son, Eli Painter, were both found shot. Neighbors suspect her other son. Interested your thoughts?
I mean, is this new or what? What is this one? Man, I'm so thirsty. It's crazy. Oh yeah, there's been evidence in that one. Yeah, it's not there's not a lot to discuss in it though. That's the problem with Keith's case. I remember that. It's not like there's this overwhelming bit of information that you can sit there and dig through. It's like it's really shallow. Like it's not a lot of depth in there. Maybe there's more now, but there wasn't when I did it. Yeah, I don't know if did I do that one? Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't cover that case, the Lyman one, so I guess I wouldn't be able to really sit here and answer it. No, Kesey, Kessie. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't really, it is what it is. Everybody likes to do that. Well, thanks, Heather. Is anybody else going to try to come on? Let's see if we can get people on here. Yeah, if you sit back and you think about it, there's a ton of cases that whereas all these, I mean, we've covered thousands of cases over the last 6 years. So it's kind of like, I mean, 90% of those haven't been solved. I actually covered, let's see, what was it? Oh, man. How come I can't remember that one? Man, I hate when I can't remember stuff anymore. It's like, yeah, April Tinsley. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, like April Tinsley's one that I went over and I was thinking, man, they got it. And then literally like a year and a half later, they solved it. So that was a cool one to get that one. That would have been one of the ones I would pick. April Tinsley is a case that I don't know what it was. I just felt, even just thinking of her right now makes me sad. You know, it's like she's just such this. You can just tell she's probably this little water bug. I don't know how to pronounce how to refer to it, but you know, if you look at April Tinsley here, like this little cute little picture, she just looks mischievous. See that? Yeah, and this psycho, she's just playing outside with an umbrella, and he just like got her to get into his car somehow, and then he killed her. I mean, just and not right away either. It was like just an absolute psycho. I think he's dead now, John Miller. And that was a weird one because remember this one? The killer 2 years after he killed April Tinsley carved these notes on a barn, and well, not carved, but wrote these notes. Says, "I kill 8-year-old April Marie Tinsley. I will kill again." And then on the other side it said, "Ha, have you," or something like, "Hey, have you found the other shoe?" And that's when they knew that that was the killer because one of April Tinsley's shoes was missing, and they didn't make that public. You know, so. He had all kinds of. There was a note on a bicycle. He acted just like a serial killer, and in that case, the FBI's profile was so accurate that it was almost unbelievable. Literally placing him in the precise portion of the Fort Wayne area. I mean, but you know, they didn't know who he was. Yep, we're getting back on one of those massive lulls again. So if you guys want to help support the channel, it'd be great to get some more channel memberships. Only 7 of them. Yeah, Maura Murray would be a great one. Sure, that'd be. We went over that quite a bit. That'd be a good one. What are you talking about, Darlene? I don't even know what case. Are you talking about? What case are you referring to? Oh yeah, yeah. Whatever happened to Prisma Reyes? Man, that one seems like that one should have been solved. I mean, what are the odds? How did she just disappear from that apartment complex? And you know, that case was sort of big, but it was nowhere near as big as it should have been. Yeah, there's hardly any updates at all on that one. I actually interviewed a couple. The person that was on the phone that she called while she was sitting in the elevator, or you know, standing out in front of the elevator. It's pretty weird, right? Because she's, she was drinking. She had a gun in her car. She, like, was just driving really fast. And then she just parked her car on a curb, goes into the building, goes upstairs, and she never exits the building, apparently. I mean, she probably exited, but they couldn't see how she exited. And her boyfriend lived there, and she was with the boyfriend, or an ex-boyfriend kind of guy, earlier in the evening at a bar in the day. And it was just middle of the day. And she was supposed to be at work, but she didn't go back to work. And then she went to his apartment complex. So wouldn't you think that it'd be something related to him? Oh, oh man. The ice broke loose and hit me in the face. Yeah. Turney, I think I did. Like one, isn't that the sister of, I forgot her name, but she was good friends with Kelsey German. I actually introduced them. All right, guys, how do we get the support for the channel up tonight? We need more channel memberships. Like I told you earlier, the ad revenue on the live streams is just killing. I'm trying my best. I put out videos at 2 today. Both of them tanked right out of the gate. And nobody knows why. Maybe people just aren't interested, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. It just seems odd. We need a challenge of some sort. Somebody. Those seem to work better. Yeah, Alyssa Turney, isn't that's the one where her father did something to her, and then I thought recently they dropped the case again or something. I didn't really follow it after that. Nah. Is there college football every single day, Stephanie? Yeah, because it's like it every single day of the week. It has nothing to do with college football. Yeah. And they also get the support from the viewers, and we're struggling tonight. Can you see? It's just absolutely, without what there's, the one person tonight, Vivacious Val. Without that, we'd be at just almost not a chance to get to the goal. Yeah, let's see. I don't know, man. I'm just checking to see if you guys have any questions. Maybe out of the ones that we've been covering more lately would probably be better. Yep. And I have a link at the top of the screen if you want to call in and talk about any of the cases that we've covered. It sounds like everybody knows in the, the other one, my father's alibi case, that one is another frustrating. That's the one that frustrates me the most out of any case because it's so obvious and easy to convince a jury, and for some reason this idiot prosecutor just doesn't want to do it. It's crazy. Well, I don't see any questions for me to respond to. That's kind of what we're doing tonight. I don't even know how those other channels, that's all they do. I just try to do like one, Saturday or Sunday, try to do something where, the freaks are asking questions and we're just chatting. The rest of the nights I do the show, But I'm trying to figure out, it doesn't seem like we're going to get anywhere tonight. So, let me know. I could start working on the video that will make no money tomorrow and get that out there. The channel needs the revenue to survive, and the revenue is what allows us at the end of the month to give a large portion of the income, because there's a certain amount that just is for the channel survival. And I don't know what else to tell you. It just is what it is. Dixie Hippie, thank you. Anybody else out there? Hey, look at that. We got Joan Four-Wheeler Bazik. Is there any DNA on Jean Bonnet? Well, they found DNA on the underwear that was like really minute level, and it could even have been from the manufacturer, That case we went over that pretty well, like not too long ago. Went through all the newspaper articles, went through documents, all, tons of different stuff. And, the frustrating thing about that case is it always comes out down to the same stuff, the exact same issues. Everybody stops at the same things, Oh, did the mom write the note? Look, it looks like a female. Oh, look at this letter here. It looks like that. It just goes on and on and on. Same thing. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you which one. What's that other girl that went missing, like in Peru or something? The little girl that was there. The parents were at the swimming pool drinking. Go back to the room and she's gone. That's the one that everybody wants an answer to. Yeah, Madeline. There you go. Madeline McCann. Yeah, everybody does need to type in Madeline. Can you see right above you that it says it already? Madeline, 5, 10, 15, 20. Madeline McCann, Madeline McCann, Madeline McCann, Madeline McCann. Yeah, it's right above you there. Let's see. They are trying genealogy tracing according to John Ramsey. Okay. We'll see. I don't know, that girl that went missing 2 months ago in Dominican. There's probably a lot of people. No, you just look right above you. Yeah, you can see it. It wasn't, oh, come on. It was too. Or maybe you all typed it in at the same time and then it has to figure out, how to put it in there, I guess. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. I have. I just said that I covered it. Rivas. Oh, that sounds familiar. I don't know why. Missing boy Gus from South Australia. Oh yeah, we did that one. It's probably the same place it is now. I think it has something to do with the parents. That one's too weird. You wouldn't have.
Do you think KK 10-year plea deal he didn't take was connected to Delphi?
When did he take it? When did he do a 10-year plea deal? Dixie's Wave. Do you think Keegan Klein's 10-year plea deal he didn't take was, well, I think they offered him, they said in these tapes, or whatever you want to call them, not tapes, they're just transcript to audio. They said that they offered him, something, if a deal, if he could prove something, and he couldn't prove any of the stuff. He just kept them hanging, basically. I always thought it was really strange. See, isn't that just weird, all the different things, though? It's like Keegan Kline lives in Peru, Indiana. Richard Allen goes to Peru, Indiana, right in the same area, earlier in the morning. And then the girls are at the bridge because of Keegan Kline. And then, there wasn't, nobody knew who these people were at the time. But then years later, you got the Wabash River being searched, and it's just right there, right? I don't know. There's just too many things seem connected to me. I don't know. I mean, what are the odds of they're searching the Wabash River, and during the exact time they're looking into, look at that. They're searching the Wabash River for a knife or something that Keegan Kline said was in there that was used in the killing of Abby and Libby. Then, during the search is when the discovery of the missing Dan Doolin tip is found. And then a week later, they quit searching the Wabash River. And then it turns out that Keegan Kline, the person that they were there searching for the knife for, is the reason that the girls were at the bridge, but he wasn't there. And Richard Allen turns out to be at the bridge, the same person that Dan Doolin's tip mentioned. I mean, God, what the hell? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't believe, I believe coincidences happen. This is just too much of one to me. Yeah, we've done Morphew a million times. Yeah. All right. Currently, we're at 50% of the goal. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, we could definitely use more channel memberships gifted tonight. This is really slow on that front. Usually you guys are doing a lot. We only got 8. Lots of us deal with men. Yeah. I guess. It's weird. I've been, for, the gout situation, I did the, I was telling you about the allopurinol, how stupid that was, that it was $3 or $1.58 for 30 100 milligrams. But if you get 30 200 milligrams, it's $79. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. So we switched it around to ordering 60 100 milligrams, but my eyes have been really dry. So I looked it up, and there's this other drug called colchicine that you take while you're originally taking allopurinol to lower your uric acid level, as a sort of a prophylactic, I guess they call it. But it has a side effect in some people. It's not very common. It makes their eyes dry. And I already had, but then I looked it up, and it also said people that have high uric acid levels get dry eyes too. They're kind of just associated. It has nothing to do with the drugs. So I don't know, man. Just the other day though, they were so sore and red and just wasn't good. Like that's boring to me, that case, for some reason, Darlene. I don't know why. I just that one's. I'm not really into that kind. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's sort of mildly interesting every once in a while, but nothing's happening in it. And there's almost no information. I mean, for a case that people want to be big, there's no information in it. Yeah, it is basically all moderators in here. Very great observation, short bus candidate. Your name fits. Okay, let's see. We've got I'm waiting for more questions. That's what we're doing tonight. I have you can click on the StreamYard link up there. You don't have to have your face on the screen. You just chat like it's a phone call. Talk about any of the cases. You can do Charlie Kirk if you want. You can do Idaho. You could do Delphi. You could do any of the ones that we've covered over the years too, which are thousands. You know, I actually think if Prisma Reyes was today, it would have been even bigger than it was at the time. Don't you think? Like if Prisma Reyes case, especially with the sort of the barrage of illegal alien murders that we've had, you know, I guess that would have been before sort of the main thrust of all of that.
About Delphi crime scene that detective in Stevenson case thought they were similar.
Detectives and do you know what it was? Oh, you mean the case when you say Stevenson? I don't know if that's the right place. You're talking about Iowa, right? Or yeah, or was it Ohio? Now I don't remember. Lyric and Elizabeth, that one. I would like to have that one solved. That's the one. That I would say, you know, I put that right at the top of my list. That's the one that I want solved, like now. Yeah, that one sucks. Yeah, it was Iowa, all right. And it was Evansdale, right? I'm not sure what you're referring to when you say Stevenson. But which case is that? All right, who's up for a challenge setter? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. You can work on the cold case in my hometown. When I don't know what that means, man. Yeah. You can type in murdered. We don't do like there's certain words we can't say just because you can't, but you know, there's no reason you can't say murdered. That's an actual term. You know, these idiots out there that do the unaliving. I mean, what a joke. I actually block people if they use the term unalive. I just, it shows like just like a crazy. Oh yeah, Missy Beavers would be cool. Well, what happened to support with Steffa? I asked her, I mean, what is the Stevenson case? I don't know what that is. Yeah, Missy Beavers would be good. Lyric and Elizabeth. I mean, they're just like Abby and Libby, two girls driving around on a bike, and then maybe a van or something pulled up to them on the backside of the pond, and they disappeared. And then they told hunters to look out for them, and then eventually hunters found their bodies, you know, quite a ways up north from them. You can use the words. You can specifically use them in videos. I don't know about, you can't say stuff like, there's just certain words you can't say, like the R word. That's one that you can't say. I mean, but murdered is just such a, that's a common term. I don't know who said that you couldn't say that. I've seen people with it in their title, like the thumbnail. So support with stuff. I just made the comment and then disappeared. I don't know what it means. Anybody know what Stevenson is? Oh, I see. That one. Okay. Yeah, the Stevenson murder? This one? Murdered inside their Florence, Kentucky. A family member discovered their bodies after William, aka Bill, did not show up. I mean, we did this one. I remember their faces. Yeah, that's right there. Bill and Peggy Stevenson. Yeah. Oh, is she doing it? I told you guys. Where's Candace Owens blaming Erica? Because I called that. I said she is going to do that at some point. She's a jilted lover, probably really liked Charlie Kirk, but Charlie Kirk wasn't really interested in her. Then he married somebody else, but she thought, man, if I could have just had a chance, I would have done it. And then she married somebody. If I was her husband, I'd be upset. I'm trying to remember this one. I don't know. It's not ringing a bell. I kind of remember something about like the pond. Let me just read this. On May 29, 2011, William and Peggy Stevenson were found murdered inside their home located in Florence, Kentucky. A family member discovered their bodies after William, a.k.a. Bill, did not show up for the Sunday service at the Truckers' Chapel or the services held at Union Baptist Church. Bill Stevenson ran the Truckers' Chapel at the Travel America truck stop in Florence for many years. Bill and Peggy Stevenson were both 74 years old at the time of their death. The Boone County Sheriff's Department Criminal Investigation Division is actively investigating the double homicide as new evidence has been discovered. 2 detectives are working the case full-time and have traveled to several states to investigate several different leads. Detectives have interviewed over 200 people in the investigation and collected DNA from several persons affiliated. So maybe they have DNA, but if they do, they should do FGG. The Kentucky State Police Crime Lab in Frankfort, Kentucky recently discovered an unidentified DNA profile. The DNA profile was found in, what date is this? That's old. The Kentucky State Police Crime Lab. That's so odd. I mean, I remember these guys' face. I just don't remember the case very well. Okay, this says, let's see, can we read it? You know what I think it should be? I think it should be illegal to have a paywall on a missing person story. Don't you guys agree with that? Like a literal paywall where you can't read it unless you're paying, right? I mean, that's just crazy. Man. For the families of victims killed in unsolved murders, Life has been at a standstill for a long time, just like the super chats on the show. The pandemic arrived. Over the next several weeks, the Inquirer will highlight a series of cold cases summarized and analyzed by the journalists whose careers largely focus on unsolved murders, the creators of Cincinnati.com Accused podcast. If you have any information on any unsolved case, please reach out to the appropriate law enforcement. Okay, so right here it says, Bill and Peggy Stevenson were two halves of a loving elderly couple known in Florence, Kentucky for their church work and generosity. Bill had founded the Trucker Chapel Ministry, a spot where traveling transporters could gather and pray. Peggy played organ at Union Baptist Church. They led a quiet, impactful lives according to their loved ones, which made the disturbing crime scene police discovered in May of 2011 all the more unfathomable. On May 29, 2011, the Stevensons were slain in brutal fashion, bludgeoned and stabbed, and then whoever killed them staged a bizarre scene. Detective Coy Cox, who headed the Boone County Sheriff's investigation since day one, told me he's been guarded and careful about the details he released from the start. What he will say is that the bodies had been posed. Items inside the house had been moved around. Okay, now I'm starting to remember this. There wasn't one room in that house that wasn't staged, Cox said recently on a podcast called Just the Tipsters, in which host Melissa Morgan features unsolved cases. Over the years, bits and pieces of information about the... I didn't see... What was that? Oh, that just finally came in there.
Holla, ocean wave emoji, wave come on, your go dogs, American football emoji, but great.
That seems like old, that one. American football? Or is it something different on the other screen? I don't know. I can't tell. But hey, guys, we need you guys' support on the channel tonight. So if you guys could please help support the channel, that'd be great. Be great not to have to ask a whole bunch of times, but we're just trying to get the goals moving forward. You know, we're still trying to make up for that one night a couple days ago, 3 days ago. We're currently at 50% right now. Over the years, bits and pieces of information about the confounding crime scene trickled out from investigators. Though they keep certain details under wraps. For example, they'll only publicly say that the deaths occurred sometime between 1 and 4 a.m., May 29th, but Cox said they have the precise time of death thanks to medical device implanted in one of the victims. Wow. Okay. Investigators have long believed that whoever killed the Stevensons knew them. This is based on a few things. There was no sign of forced entry at their condo, and the couple would have had to buzz in any visitors. Neighbors were situated quite close, yet reported nothing out of the ordinary. The killers also seemed comfortable in the environment, staying hours after the couple was killed to inflict a post-mortem injury on one of them and stage the scene. There also was a message left by the killers, Cox said, though he wouldn't share the details. A message. Is that a signature? Or Cox said he and his team have visited more than a dozen states working on the case because Bill Stevenson had so much contact with truckers passing through town. Oh, yeah, that's right. Remember the church and the truckers. A number of tips have related to the people living hundreds of miles away. Cox also has conferred with a psychic hoping for a breakthrough. Oh, Jesus. Anytime you get a detective work with a psychic, and now you know that case is in trouble. Yeah. Hey, that's your first super chat on a live stream. Thanks, Misty Wolf. Let's see. If that means Colleen Fitzpatrick, she's actually in the VDOC Society. It says right here. Cox also had conferred with a psychic hoping for a breakthrough and has taken the case to the VDOC Society, which accused listeners will recognize from season 1 as the volunteer group of professionals who gather in Philadelphia monthly to give insight into cold cases. Man, that'd be so cool to be in the VDOC Society. I bet I'd be pretty good on there. You give me the information they have? Oh, man. Jesus. Cox is quick to correct that this case isn't cold, though. It's old, he said, but it's never been set aside, which is what the cold label connotes. The nephew, as Morgan said in her podcast, a lot of people assume the killer in the case had been found when one of Stevenson's nephews was arrested in connection with another murder. Charles Stevie Stevenson was, that's right, convicted in 2012 of beating 67-year-old Lee Jennings of Indiana to death with a skillet and pepper grinder. Stevenson was sentenced in 2013 to life in prison. Man, isn't that amazing? Like their kid killed somebody almost the same way that they were killed. Yeah, he has no parole. Let's see. Well, you guys can't even see what the hell I'm looking at. Hold on. I'm just reading the... It's understandable people assumed a connection after all that... so now I remember that pretty well. After all, what are the odds? But Bill Stevenson was one of 14 kids. So the odds are a bit higher than average. It turns out that police have DNA evidence that they believe came from the killer/killers, and it doesn't match the nephews. He is not a suspect in the case. Well, how come you haven't used forensic genetic genealogy? The motive isn't always easy to spot in the most straightforward of murder cases. There's a lot about this scene you wouldn't believe, Cox said. Wow, jeez, makes you want to know about it. There's a lot about this scene you wouldn't believe. The one thing Cox is certain of is this. They both had to die, he said. If only one of the couples had been targeted, there was ample opportunity to attack each alone. Let's see. They both had to die, he said. If only one half of the couple had been targeted, there was ample opportunity to attack each alone. It also, I don't understand that sentence, by the way. It also would have been fairly easy to overpower and restrain either 74-year-old so that the killer could harm one while sparing the other. Hey, thanks so much, Chris O'Connell. Very kind, very kind. One thing Cox is certain of is this. They both had to die, he said. If only half of the people had been targeted, there was ample opportunity to attack each alone. That doesn't make any sense. It also would have been fairly easy to overpower and restrain either 74-year-old so that the killer could harm one while sparing the other. Okay. So basically, killing both of them would probably mean that one of them would have recognized. This is Peggy Stevens, the Bill and Peggy Stevenson we covered a long time ago. It's not really that long ago. It's probably like over a year, but okay, so we did that one. Oh, man, where am I? Right there. And then we just did targeted, yeah. And then the obvious question for anyone who follows crime, the first thing that likely comes to mind when law enforcement has DNA is, have investigators uploaded the profile into a database such as GEDmatch, where people voluntarily submit their DNA? That's how the long elusive Golden State Killer was identified 2 years ago as Joseph James D'Angelo. So this must be from 2020, this article. A man who since pleaded guilty to a string of horrific assaults and homicides in 1970s and 80s. I asked this of Cox. The DNA is not suitable for genealogy or phenotyping at this time, he said. Well, then, so how do you know you have the DNA of the killer? I don't know. We hope in the future that changes. Well, they should check again because, in the last 4 years, it's exponentially better. This could imply a few things, including that the DNA is from more than one person. In this case, what should happen is actually what is happening. Cox not only, hey, thanks, Jody and Jody Anita? Yeah, Cox not only gave that podcast interview recently, but he also appeared on a radio show and responded to me within minutes when I reached out. He skips no chance of spreading the word about this case because he said he's sure someone out there has the info he needs. This one's not going to go unsolved. Huh. That's pretty crazy. So these two people here were killed in such a crazy way, crime scene staged, and things you just wouldn't believe, they said. I know. But remember, we thought that in a couple of cases, and it had nothing to do with the relative. Remember that one in can't remember exactly where it was, but the guy living across the street killed that 80-year-old or 70-something-year-old, and we thought, oh, they're probably because like she remarried somebody, and then we thought, well, maybe the kids of somebody, who the hell knows? Oh man, thirsty. Oh yeah, that one's Russell and Shirley Derman. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe I remembered something and Zozo didn't. She usually remembers 99%, and I get 1. So that's the one. Yeah, Russell and Shirley Derman. That's another one. I want that one solved. That's a cold case at this point. Yeah, so Russell and Shirley Derman, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You guys know that one? You guys put a 1 if you've never heard of the Russell and Shirley Derman case. I actually would love to interview that sheriff just to see, because they've got to have something extra that we don't. Anybody? Oh, quite a few of you. Well, it's these two people right here. They were older than that. I mean, hell, we can just read the wiki here. That'd probably be good, just quick breakdown. But the killer in that case had to have. They live on this cove here, and so Russell Derman was found missing his head and they've never found his head. And then Shirley was completely missing, and then her body surfaced in the lake over here somewhere. I don't know if I mapped out. Yeah, right over here, actually. Her body was found floating in the water over here, and she had been tied down with cinder blocks, but the gases in her decomposed body floated to the surface. So the killer likely entered the house on a boat. I mean, not the house on a boat, but outside here, and then went up into the house, killed him, and then because Russell probably weighed so much, they just cut his head off. And it makes you think that one of the things I've thought about was that the head was taken as proof of something, and then Shirley was killed just to kill a witness. But like Russell was like, hey, you got to prove that you killed him somehow, and they weren't able to get his whole body out or something. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. I mean, I'm not sure why you'd need to take his head unless they shot his head and they needed to take his head and remove the, make sure the bullet didn't stay there because it didn't exit or something. All right, you guys, we're still, meandering along. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, I would appreciate it. Yeah, we need more channel memberships. We've only got like 14. That's last night we had 80. We had 60 something the night before that. Let's see. I think it's in Georgia. Yeah, you probably knew that, obviously. Let's see. So here's the story right here. It says the murders of Russell and Shirley Derman occurred in early May 2014 in Putnam County. Now I covered this. Like, it's weird because I wasn't really on YouTube as much at that time, but I definitely, I think either for sure in Facebook groups. I mean, we were just digging all into that thing. So it was in Putnam County, Georgia, United States. The decapitated body of Russell Derman, 88, was found on May 6, 2014, in the garage of the house he owned on the Lake Oni. What the heck? Hey, Chris O'Connell, look at that. Boom, chakalaka. Thank you so much. Very cool. Look at all those new members coming in. Give thanks to Chris O'Connell. God, my nose is stuffy because I went on a walk outside. Neither his head nor his wife, Shirley, could be located in the house. See, isn't that crazy? Only his body was left in the house. Over a week later, Shirley's body was discovered floating in Lake Oconee, her body having been weighted down with concrete blocks. Man, my memory was pretty good. As of 2024, the murders remain unsolved, and Russell's head has not been found. Now, here's the thing with his head. If they'd weighted that down somehow, it likely wouldn't have surfaced because there wouldn't be enough gases and whatnot in the head to do that. And it wouldn't stay in the head probably. The skin is what sort of traps like a balloon. I mean, it's kind of gross. Anyway, I got to go blow my nose. So here, I'll just play this. Oh, wait, I want to play this one. That's right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. All right, there we go. Yeah, we've done the West Memphis 3. What's the other one with the 3 ladies that went missing? That would be a good one to get solved too. I don't know. They didn't say how any of them were found in the Stevenson one. If we can get 20 more memberships from the group, I'll donate 5, even though that's not nowhere near. But that's because right now we're still not even at the goal. But if we get 20 more memberships, I'll donate 5, and then that'll get us up to 50 or 49. What's the yeah Springfield 3? That one would be good to have that one solved. Good evening, Christine. All right, so Russell Joseph Derman, a native of Hackensack, New Jersey, served in the United States Navy during World War II. We even thought, man, was he something happened in the war and somebody paid back? He married Shirley Wilcox on December 15th. Shirley Wilcox, man, she's no relation, I don't think, to I don't know. You have to go look that up. Yeah, there was staged, but I don't know if one was hung or they've kept all that pretty hidden. The Dermans went on to move into Great Waters Reynolds at Lake of Oconee, a gated community located about 12 miles northeast of Eatonton. In 2000, their oldest son, Mark, was murdered. Wow, that's interesting. In Atlanta while attempting to purchase crack cocaine. I don't know if I remember that. I vaguely remember that. I mean, it's just not really. That seems like that might be significant, though. In Atlanta, while attempting to purchase crack cocaine, investigators believe that there is no connection between this crime and the murder of Mark's parents. But I mean, that's pretty crazy. Russell was last seen alive on May 1st, 2014, as he was running errands in Eatonton, along with Shirley. He spoke with his son Brad over the phone later in the day. The Dermans were expected to attend a party for the 2014 Kentucky Derby. The following weekend, with their neighbors who grew concerned when the couple did not show up. On May 6th, one neighbor went to the Dermans' house to check on them. The neighbor found the door unlocked and entered the house. Russell's decapitated body was found on the floor of his 2-car garage, lying in a small pool of blood. Yeah, so if it's a small pool of blood, then he likely wasn't. He was already dead before having his head cut off. When police were unable to locate Shirley inside the house, they initially suspected that he had been kidnapped. 10 days later, that she had been kidnapped. 10 days later, Shirley's body was found by fishermen on Lake Oconee. An autopsy found that she had died from either 2 or 3 deep wounds to the head from a blunt object. Yeah, so how do you think Russell was killed then? See, Russell must have been killed a different way. You know, because I mean, let me ask you guys: why do you think the killer took Russell Derman's head? Can you think of something outside of the box? You know, but makes sense, not some Looney Tune. You know, they gave it to a UFO that flew over. Man, you guys just jumped on my challenge, right? We need 20 more channel memberships, and then I'll donate 5. That's how far away we're at. Nah, Juliet, that's not thinking outside the box. Let's see. I don't know. If it was a hit, why didn't they take Shirley's head? See, it's got to be something like they needed the head to prove that they killed him, or they killed him differently, and they needed to take the head. It wasn't, they couldn't move his body because it was much larger than hers, even though they were both pretty large. And inside of his head, let's say they shot him in the head and the bullet was still in there. You know, they didn't want to leave that type of evidence, but with Shirley, she was just hit with an object and killed. But what if they'd shot Russell in the head and then the bullet gets trapped in the head? Then you got to take the head so that they don't have any forensic information. Yeah, I just said that, Sandy, like 4 times. Let's see. That's not. Come on, Julia. That's. Yeah. Ah. I'm sure my nose is so plugged. It was weird too because I walked outside for about 4 miles, and then it's like whenever I do that, things are fine, and then later my nose starts getting plugged up. I don't know why or what the hell for, but so there's the only 2 reasons make sense to me are the killer. I mean, I guess, why didn't you leave, by the way, why didn't you leave Shirley there? You know, you hit her in the head and she's dead. Why did you need to take her and then weight her down and hide her in the lake? Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And if you're going to do that, why didn't you, get Russell out of there? I don't know if he will. I don't know. I've emailed him before. I've never heard back from him. All right, guys. We still need to hit the. I take Zyrtec all the time. We still need to hit the goal tonight. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, that would be awesome. We're still not even there, believe it or not. Yeah, maybe I should take a Zyrtec. Okay, so the Dermot, yeah, so he was lying in a small pool of blood. See, to me, that means he was already dead, and then they cut his head off because there was nothing pumping the blood to, if you behead somebody, there's blood all over the place if they're alive. So that means they killed him. So now you know he's dead on the floor, and then they have to take his head for a reason. Oh yeah, the Sherman one, yeah. I mean, what you said actually rang a bell somewhere, but we just read about Stevenson. Man, what's going on tonight, you guys? It's massive lulls, one after the other. No. It's not an extremist group. I don't know if he had any gold teeth. The gold wasn't worth that much at the time. Today I could see that, right? But yeah, thanks for bringing that one up again. This case is one of those ones that we sort of revisit from time to time. Initially, investigators were pursuing multiple potential leads to find the perpetrators and their motive for killing the Dermans. However, this eventually led nowhere, and over time, the leads gradually declined in frequency. Although the perpetrators and motive remain unknown, Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills has said he is convinced that of course, at least 2 were involved because gunshot residue was found on Russell's collar. Ah, see, he was shot. Sills believe he was decapitated after having been shot in the head in an attempt to prevent police from finding the bullet. Ah, there you go. I don't even remember that part. That's crazy. Like, that must be newer information. When was that article? I think we even said that back then, too. Let's see. See, there's the house right there. Hey, Sandy, it's new right here. Okay, we covered it a long time ago and came up with that. Nobody asked you if it was new or not. My God, man. I think you spoke of that when, yeah, we went over like why you would leave the head there. I just don't remember him particularly writing that in an article. You don't follow it. Come on. Jesus. Okay. Anyways, together they had 3 sons and a daughter, and eventually they would dote on 9 grandchildren too. Both her and dad, total family people. Their favorite time was to spend time with the family and grandkids. Let's see. Wait, is this them? That's not like them shopping, is it? Oh, that was them, right? That's him right there. Was that his wife coming in before that? No, there was no. That's on May 1st, so it's earlier in the day at 2 o'clock. I haven't seen this before. Have you? I don't know. Is this right? I mean, this is it, right? According to store and bank surveillance video from 11 Live, Russell transferred money from the drive-through lane. When was this written? We might have to go through this one. That was way back in 2018. Yeah, everyone, Lauren Spear. Let people like Greeno cover that one, right? Yeah, I don't remember seeing this surveillance footage. I almost feel like I gotta. Here, let me just try to find my Dermond folder really quick. Or quickish, I guess. Dermond. I've got this massive folder with like every case we've ever done. And it has like every time my one drive gets too big, I transfer it all over. What's the new lead? Did he mention what the new lead was, Sandy? I mean, I remember there was one that was like a year ago he said that. All right, not going to waste time with that. All right. Okay, let me go back to this, finish this one. So he's convinced that multiple people were involved because gunshot residue was found on Russell's collar. I remember that part. Sills believes he was decapitated after having been shot in the head in an attempt to prevent police from finding the bullet, and that the perpetrators went to the Dermans' home intending to obtain money, despite the fact that nothing in the home was stolen. I don't know. Why would you need... But can you explain why they took Shirley? You know, why did they need to take Shirley out of the house? Why would not just kill her with the blows to the head and let her sit on the ground right next to Russell? You took his head because of the bullet, but you didn't kill Shirley that way. So why did they take her? That's pretty crazy, isn't it? I mean, there's no reason. That's a lot of work, too. I mean, you think about it, like, you know, she probably weighed, I don't know, like, let's say she weighed 170 pounds or something, and you're sitting there, a dead weight, carrying her to the boat so that you can dispose of her. For what reason? It's also possible that she was still alive while on the boat, and then they killed her out there. Actually, that makes a hell of a lot more sense. You know, now that I think about it, it's like she was alive. They had her walk onto the boat. Maybe they, you know, inside the house, maybe they put something like duct tape around her mouth and they walked her out to the boat. Then out on the water, in the middle of the night, they bludgeoned her in the head and then tied her up and then put her down into the water. Doesn't that make some more sense? Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's why they would have kept her alive, probably, to see if you could get the numbers from her, maybe. I mean, who knows? Or just make it easier to get under her own power. Yeah, they never got that. All right, now we only need 8 channel memberships, and then I'll donate 5. That's how close we are now. All right. Very cool. Let's go. You want to go through this one then? I'll just start down here where they're down here. Russell 88 was found decapitated inside his garage on May 6, 2014, and 2 fishermen discovered 87-year-old Shirley's body 10 days later in Oconee, about 5 miles from lakefront home. On December 15th, 1950, Shirley and Russell, a Navy veteran, tied the knot. Together, they had 3 sons and a daughter, and eventually they would dote on 9 grandchildren. All right, both were religious, and Shirley was an avid writer. After several years in the fast food industry, in which Russell owned several Hardee's restaurants in Atlanta, he retired in 1994. The couple moved to Eatonton, Georgia, and built their $1 million Reynolds Plantation Great Waters home in a cul-de-sac overlooking Lake Oconee. It was wooded and very private. The last time Russell was seen alive was on Thursday, May 1st, 2014, when he ran some errands in town. According to store and bank surveillance videos obtained only by 11 Alive, Russell... hold on a second. Wow, that was a loud sneeze. Russell transferred money from the drive-through lane at the Lake Oconee branch of the People's Bank. Gray, it's not a pronounced Oconee, you bastard. It's Oconee. I live there. He then traveled to the nearby Publix at 2:26 p.m. to pick up prescriptions for Shirley for an upcoming cataract surgery, as well as a loaf of bread and a few cucumbers, as it were. All right, let me just... I got to blow my nose again. Hmm. You know, I can't set a goal anymore on here. On my screen, I can't do it. It's weird. I gotta send this off over there. He bought bread, cucumbers, medicine for his wife. Isn't that crazy? And a little bit later in the evening, he gets killed by somebody. Well, they said that they couldn't find anything missing. Not that everybody knows what everybody has, you know. That's weird, though. We hadn't seen that surveillance all that time. But hey, guys, any chance we can get those 8 more channel memberships? And then I'll donate 5 myself and call it a night on that. What did he... Yeah. And then over here it said... the surveillance was here. In the video, he can be seen wearing dark glasses, khaki shorts, polo shirt, and now I want to know if they're going to say if he was wearing that when he was found. The same. There we go. The same clothes police found in the bedroom. In his bedroom when they searched the Derman's residence. Okay, so it was the same clothes you found in his bedroom, but was he wearing the clothing? Oh wait, he might have that was the same evening that he changed out of it. It was just sitting there. Later that evening, before dinner, Brad spoke to his parents on the phone like most days. He said they just chatted about how the day went with each other. The couple was supposed to attend a Kentucky Derby party that weekend, but never showed. After growing concerned, a neighbor checked in on the Dermans on Tuesday, May 6th. Hey, there's one by Wild Bill Wassman. May 6th, horrified, she called 911. Police discovered Russell's headless body in the garage in between the couple's 2 cars. Huh. I hadn't really visualized it like that. I wonder if that was intentional. I wonder if the blood was where his body was found. And I guess there would always be some, you know, even if they put him there. According to Putnam County Sheriff Howard Sills, there were no signs of forced entry or indication of a struggle in the home. Nothing was out of place. Yeah, but see, these people snuck up on him. Jewelry and medications were seemingly as the Dermans had left them. Sills narrowed the time frame of Russell's murder to somewhere between 4:30 p.m. on May 1st. Wow. when the mail was delivered to 6 p.m. on May 4th, when the couple failed to show up for the party. That's all you can do? I mean, nobody talked to them? Hey, there's Lisa Valenzuela. 6 more to go. They don't even know how he was murdered because we don't have his head. A frustrated Brad said about his father's brutal death. Well, he was shot in the head. That's how he died. That's why he had gunshot residue on his collar. Brad was at his son's baseball game when he got the worst call of his life. We got the call from my brother-in-law, and he was a total mess. Almost couldn't even decipher what he was talking about. His brother-in-law put his son on the phone to relay the horrific news. He said Grandpa had been murdered. Grandpa was missing. Shirley's phone and purse. He said Grandpa had been murdered. Grandpa was missing, although they had his head. Shirley's phone and purse were still in the house. Crews searched for several days with no luck. On May 16th, 2 fishermen on Lake Oconee found her body near a dam. She had been bludgeoned to death, and her body had been weighted down with cinder blocks. The mystery of who and why remains. Hey, Julia, you don't have a clue, man. Okay. When Russell's body was found in the couple's garage, his finger had a severe wound. Probably a defensive wound. Maybe he was trying to defend his wife or something. His finger had a severe wound, Sill said. Tangled with his blood, they found strands of Shirley's hair. Sill said tangled within his blood. You know what I bet? I bet you. And so now I think Shirley was killed. Well, I don't know. I guess we still don't know. But whatever killed Shirley was probably with a blade. Because remember how they said it was elongate, like slashing? That was probably the same item they cut Derman's head off with. And some of Shirley's hair was on that weapon. So that might mean that she was already injured, at least before she got on that boat. Doesn't that make sense? Why don't you just keep watching this one, Paulette? Come on. When Russell's body was found in the couple's garage, his finger had a severe wound. Tangled with his blood, they found strands of Shirley's hair. So it's almost like Shirley's hair was on like a knife, an object that they used to cut off Russell's head. It would appear that that there was a struggle and Dad was trying to be protective of Mom, Brad surmised. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just saying. That might be why his finger was injured. It's difficult for their son to fathom their last moments alive. At what point would you have that sinking feeling? This is it, right? That's exactly the same kind of thing with Abby and Libby. Anybody that's, but that's one of the things I always think about with them. It's the horror they must have gone through from the beginning until it was finished. That's what's difficult to overcome. Yep. Brad, who still talks to his golfing buddy nearly every day, has dreams about his dad as well. He said Russell comes to him in his dreams, offering him clues about his death, but he wakes up before it leads anywhere. And he is left at a loss all over again, perplexed because his parents, he said, had no dark side or secrets that would have resulted in their murders. It's not clear, but there's been a couple where I almost feel like he's got some answers and he's trying to get me to see something, read something that hasn't happened. It just always ends up with a big question mark, he said. Let's see. These days, he relies on FBI, SILs, and the public to come forward and shed light on who did this to his family. Somebody out there, and they're living in hell. They're such a thing of God's wrath. So if somebody does know something, they have the responsibility of coming forward, even if it's just a shred of information. All right, guys, we just need to get those 6 more, and we'll get there, and I'll donate 5 myself, so that'd be 11 more channel memberships. See if we can do it. Yeah, we've talked about it, that case on the show. We just haven't done like a deep dive, and everybody's done a deep dive on that case, and we're not going to find anything different than any. It's the same thing as like doing the Jean-Benet Ramsey. Everybody has the same answer at the end. Oh, must have been this, must have been that. Let's see. Yeah. We're just looking to get the 6 more, though. Sills has chased down leads across the country, but still nothing to solve the case. But he is convinced more than one person was involved. There is no way one person did this, he said. I'm not going to say. I wonder if there was a blood trail down from the house to the boat. I'm not going to say it's absolutely physically impossible, but it's highly unlikely. Sills believes that Derman was decapitated after he was murdered in an attempt to hide evidence, such as gunshot wound and bullet. The biggest roadblock is motive. There is none. But Brad is confident in Sills' ability to solve the only 2 well, there must be a motive by whoever did it. To solve the only 2 homicides of his career that have gone cold. If there's somebody who's going to get this thing solved, it's going to be him. Anyone with information is asked to call the Putnam County Sheriff's Office. Isn't that crazy? That was 2014. I don't know. What are you talking about, Jono? What does it have to do with you? My channel's covered thousands of cases over the years. There's sometimes we get on one for a while, you know. Yeah, we're not. I don't know. I bet that account was created an hour ago. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've thought family member, but I don't really understand. Like, why did you take? I think the only sort of thing that doesn't make sense is why they took Shirley's body out of the house. Because if she was killed before, that means they had to carry her to the boat and then weigh her down and sink her. For what reason? She can't identify you anymore. She's dead. They can't identify the weapon because it was like a blunt object. Right, I said 2014, yeah. Didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. I'm fresh out of dancing jigs. Maybe we need to get thrown in prison. Maybe that'll work. I'm sure I did something to upset somebody. Yeah, I just don't think. Yeah, originally we thought maybe the family, because man, they're living too long. We want our damn life insurance policies, man. They've got a lot of money. We would get that. You know, and I'm sure they benefited quite a bit, and that would make you think that. And I'm sure that's probably one of the first things that they looked into, and they had nothing to do with it. I guess it doesn't mean that one of them didn't get somebody to do it, you know, and the head was like, see, we wanted to prove that we did it. And then, but why, you know, still, again, it's like, why not just leave him there? I guess the bullet in the head is the only reason the head was taken. And so the only, like I said a minute ago, the enigma is the fact that Shirley wasn't just left there. That's strange. I mean, once you know you're leaving Derman's head there, there's really, I mean, body there, there's really no reason to take Shirley. Now, if you were taking both of them, I'm going to hide them in the lake, sink them to the bottom, and they just disappeared off the face of the earth. You know, that would be one thing. But now that you have to leave Russell's body there, and you took his head because the bullet's in the head, then what was the purpose? Doesn't really make a lot of sense to take Shirley and put her in the lake. Yeah, I didn't heard of that part either. Her hair being tangled in his blood. So that means the blood that sort of oozed out of the rest of his body, there was tangled hair there. But what if in between the two cars is where they severed his head, but he was already dead, so not a lot of blood pumped out. It just kind of, you know, whatever could just sort of came out that was in the general area there in his body. And then the item they used to cut the head actually had hair on it from Shirley, and that would sort of indicate that she was killed or at least unconscious before making it onto the boat, right? We don't know. I don't think so. Shirley had been grabbed by the hair and walked to the dock. What? Where does that come from? Let's see. What's the latest on Charlie Kirk? I don't know, John. What's the latest on you being blocked from the channel? What's the latest on that? All right, I'm just going to try one last shot, you guys. Can we we just need 6 more channel memberships, and then I'll donate 5. It's a 2-to-1. Yeah, some people had surveillance cameras. I don't know how many point to the water, though, you know. They'd be on the streets. Plus, they were in a gated community, which apparently the surveillance cameras weren't working that day. I mean, it's like, oh, God, you know. Remember that part? We've gotten a few weird phone calls. None of them provided any information. I don't think there's anything there. Oh, man. Thanks, Chris O'Connell. Yeah. At least we got, you know, I always feel like, man, I wish other people just would help support a little bit other than the same people, but I appreciate you guys doing that. But we just need one more now. One more channel membership. I always feel like, come on. You know, like the... Lots of kind people. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What's the same people a lot of times. That's the thing. I know we got, you know. Yep, we just need one more. Chris O'Connell, who just did the 5, is just saying one more. Thanks, Grant. We need 4 more of those. I don't know. Still seems kind of out of his depths. I think they should get like, I mean, at this point, I don't know, man. They need to get like just the FBI working on it. I mean, I don't know. That's probably not the right word. It's just, it seems like at this point they need to maybe give another shot to the FBI or something. Yeah, we still need one more, you guys. One more channel membership gifted. Who's going to do it? There's no boom, Chris, because we didn't get it. Was one of their children killed? Yeah, we just talked about how he was murdered back in 2000 in some sort of a drug thing. So I don't know why. Maybe it was revenge for having them put in prison or something. Yeah, we read that earlier on the Wikipedia, or maybe even that last article. Oh, thank God, somebody! My God, it's been like pulling teeth. All right, let's see. Right here, here's one. There you go. All right, thanks, Christine and Chris O'Connell and Lisa Valenzuela and Wild Bill Wassman on that last part. Very cool. All right. Awesome. So you can tell people just aren't interested. See how like we had like 140 people watching? And then as soon as you start talking about Russell and Shirley Derman, it's not the cool case. So hey, we're going to do something else. Even though Russell and Shirley Derman's case is as interesting as any other case that we've covered on a long time. There just isn't as much information, but the information we have is interesting. You know, and it's just strange how you can't get somebody to go, hey, let me listen to this for a few minutes. It just sucks, man. I mean, the mindset of people these days is just, I don't know, man. You know, instant gratification. You got to have this little, just sucks. That's why everybody, oh, they will quickly turn on the thing. And they go to the same damn thing every single night. You know, when I have stuff to discuss in the cases, I'll do it. You know, like I've covered thousands of different cases, and then sometimes I get on one for a long time, you know, like Idaho 4, Charlie Kirk for a month and a half or so. And then we got, you know, Delphi case we would do, you know, off and on throughout all the years that it was going on. You know, at first you're just covering it all the time because you're just trying to figure stuff out. And then also Kanika Jenkins is one that I did for a long time. I was sort of, you know, serving the purpose of putting out all of the bogus conspiracy theories. Yeah. And, you know, there's just, here's the problem. There's too many people doing, well, they're not really true crime people, but they are people that are in covering the cases, you know, so, but they do it in a way that's more entertaining because it's conspiracy oriented. So everybody's like, ooh, yay. And they get so excited. And then, you know, they come in, these people fly by night, and then probably within 6 months, they have zero because they have no idea what they're doing. And I would tell you in the Charlie Kirk case that 90% of the people that were covering it have no idea what they're doing. But they're all believed because they are, they talk about the conspiracies and they're people with, you know, special forces. I'll tell you this, most of, you know, I would say excluding Paramount Tactical, I would say most of the special forces people that are covering Charlie Kirk case have no clue what they're talking about. Okay, they're just basing everything on, ooh, a bullet's supposed to, and it's just so narrow-minded. It's unbelievable. And because they can't understand, for some reason, why a bullet fired from a 30-06 might do what it did in Kirk's case, they discount every single other incredible piece of information as a conspiracy to make their theory work. It sucks. Okay. And so if you're somebody out there that just goes, man, and Candace Owens, I mean, my God, it's just unreal. Let's see. But it's weird too, like even Plunder and, all of us were just getting so few views on stuff. It's really weird. I'm sort of wondering if YouTube has done something with the true crime community because of the Charlie Kirk ridiculousness and just sort of put us all on this kind of crappy algorithm situation. I don't know. Somebody earlier said that Candace Owens has now accused Erica Kirk. I haven't seen that. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Yeah. I know. Somebody put that in the comments. How come they didn't talk? Where's the other shoe? He didn't even say where the shoe was or anything. I mean, he kind of said, but it didn't seem like it was. And it's like, why does it matter, man? Why do you need an answer for the shoe an Uber driver mentioned on the ground somewhere? When he dropped the girls off, they had their shoes on. So it obviously wasn't one of theirs. Yeah, what is that whole thing about? Which one is that, Grant? I mean, some of them, here's the problem. You want to know what the problem is in the Charlie Kirk case? All of the clown, the special forces people who are just out there trying to utilize their almost like the fact that they were in special forces as sort of like they're an expert on how to cover true crime. They don't even know the case. Like most people have not seen the probable cause and charging documents, which have overlapping and different information in them. And once you see that, it all makes sense. There's people that still say all the time that well, how did he disassemble the rifle on the roof then? And why did he put it back together in the woods? And it's like, what brain are you using? We've already figured it all out. He had the rifle disassembled in his pants as he's walking and onto the roof. Then, when he climbed over the wall, he removed the rifle from his pants and he assembled it with the screwdriver. Then he shot Charlie Kirk, and he had no time to disassemble the rifle. In fact, he left the screwdriver on the roof with his DNA on it. Then he ran off the roof, jumped down, and had a black towel that he intentionally brought to do what he did. He literally, I think he intended to do exactly what he was doing. He didn't think on the fly, oh, I better have this black towel ready. Oh, look at it, I can't take it apart. I got to need the black towel. He already knew that he was going to get off that roof with the rifle wrapped in a black towel. And I think he likely, because of that, so the screwdriver, it could have been when he went into the woods that he was going to disassemble the rifle and put it back into the pants that he was wearing, change shirts only, and then walk out of there. But that's not what happened. He gets to the woods. He doesn't have the screwdriver to disassemble it. So then he hides it and he gets the hell out of there, and then he comes back. Now, he could have always intended to leave it there too. So there's only those two options. One, that he wasn't able to disassemble it and put it back in his pants. Or two, that he was going to leave it there regardless. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so these people, they do not know the case still. You can hear it when they talk about things. They repeat things that have been totally debunked at this point. Right. So there you go. So how's it going, Grant 25? Over there in Australia. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, you guys seem about as, I mean, you notice the rate of chat is 0. So that's usually when I call it a night. Are you guys still interested in communicating? Yeah. Does anybody have a link to Candace doing that? We got no coffees tonight. Whew. Yikes. Believe he was the shooter. Yeah, well, there's, I mean, that's common. Like I said before, the Charlie Kirk case is one of the strongest cases I've ever seen in the thousands of cases we've covered. It literally is insane. What was their name? It was sort of around here. Yeah, I think it was. But I doubt that would be connected in any way. What a weird death that was, though, isn't it? They both die on a boat. They both knocked out of the boat, and they both die. It just seems really unlikely. I remember that one. They were both like black people, right? I can't remember. Gary something. Yeah, that sounds right. Gary. Got to be down here. Jocelyn Wilson and Gary Jones, right there. Yeah, look at that. See? Yeah, that's right. We saw this when we were going over it. So they were right here, and then, I mean, let's see. That's right. That was a weird one. So how did that work? Oh, yeah. So they parked over here and then put the boat in the water, and then he went underneath this bridge, and then he drove over here and picked up his fiance on one of these docks over here. And then apparently went out this direction, and then what's that? Carolyn, I guess we have other cases too. Like, what's this one? Carolyn Eaton. Well, that seems like their house. Yeah, that's, why does it have that address? Oh, that's the street name. That's the Dermans. Yeah. Yeah, so the boat, whatever, would have gone by, right by the Dermans' house. And then around. And then apparently somewhere, and that's weird because like Shirley's body was found here, and then Jocelyn's body is found right there. And I don't know exactly where his was. Yeah. Pretty weird though, right? Wouldn't that be weird if they were connected somehow? Did the charging documents tie the bullet to the rifle? You mean like, let's see. We don't see the ballistics in there because they hadn't done that yet when the charging documents came out. However, in the writings that Tyler Robinson has, he mentions the exact same wording on the bullet that was used to kill Charlie Kirk. All right. And his DNA is on the rifle. So whatever it is, he's the one that shot the bullet. It says on the shell casing, the one that said like, you know, UVU or something, or UWU notices bulge. He even mentioned in his writing to Twigs that was in there. I don't know what it was called. See, isn't that weird? People like John up there, they think that they've got everything nailed because they weren't able to. So far, they haven't connected the bullet to the rifle in his mind. Okay. It's just so crazy. Every other bit of information is matched up. I don't know what the name of this. I don't think it's a river. I think it's like a lake or something. I mean, there's these little tributaries. Thanks, love Boston. Oh, wait, there it is. It's Lake Oconee. That's what it's called. I bet there's some good bass fishing in a lake like that. This thing is like, it's in Georgia, warm, probably, yeah. I bet it's pretty amazing, to be honest. You can just tell by looking at it. It's not a river. But I need you guys to be typing more if you want me to stay around. It's just dead as a doornail in here. They don't have an argument, Jono. Yeah. And why did you come in here, Jono, and start saying, what does this have to do with Charlie Kirk or whatever? I mean, you sound like a crazy person. So I'm not even sure why I'm communicating with you. But this more recent boat case was solved as an accident. Yeah, we know, Sandy. We know all these things. Yeah, right. All they said was that the boat turned and they both got flung out. Like I said before, it's just weird that they both die. You know, it's like, come on. That's crazy. I don't know if they had life jackets on. Over here, you're required to wear life jackets. I don't know if they had to. If they had to wear life jackets, there's no... I mean, did they ever find his body, by the way? Like, I remember it was... so, Gary Jones. Did they find Gary Jones' body in Lake Oconee? Yes, the body of Gary Jones was found in Lake Oconee in March of 2025, approximately 1 month after he and his fiancée, Jocelyn Wilson, went missing. His body was discovered by a specialized search team from the non-profit Bruce's Legacy. Jones and Wilson vanished on February 28th while on a boating trip. Discovery of Wilson's body was found the day after they went missing. Discovery of Jones' body was March 9th, 2025, at around noon. Discovery of the body was found by Bruce Legacy. Cause of death, autopsy reports for both Jones and Wilson list accidental drowning as the cause of death. That's just, I mean, come on. That's just wild, you know? I mean, neither of them could swim, I guess. I don't need to, Sandy. I don't need your, you know. I already know how it works. Hey, let's see. Gray, do they have DNA in the Derman's case? I don't think so. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We got a lot of people that just sort of, you know, Haven't heard of a lot of different cases. I mean, I can just show you. I don't even want to turn it on because then I can't turn it off. But like the United States right here, and a lot of mine are missing that I've done. But if I turn it on, it would cover the whole map here, yellow. We did even done some up here in Canada, some interesting ones. I thought that was one of the more interesting. Remember that one with those two kids that were on the run? And they were like serial killers. I mean, it was weird. They were just killing random people on the roads and different places, and they tracked them down, and then they both took their own lives when they were being tracked. They almost caught. You guys remember that one? That was a weird one. Okay. Man, the rate of chat is so slow. It's just mind-boggling. Yeah. Look at the very top one is Kendra Hatcher. That's funny. And then McStay's right there. Let's see. The Austin bombing. That was really interesting. That would have been huge today. We nailed that case too. Maura Murray, the Hart family. See how you go back in time. The Hart family, Casey, James, Lawhorn, Reese, Barbara Blatnick, Ebby Stepik, Thought of Pilly. Remember that was that Indian family that went off a cliff driving on a road? We had a lot of people from India watching on my channel at that point. Missy Beavers, Cassandra, Edelyn Gross, Sarah Diane Gomez, Jamie Beasley, East Area Rapist. These are all those cases by James D'Angelo. And then Daniel Oberg, that was a guy here in Oregon. That was a weird one, just kind of disappeared. Corey McKeague, Anima Brothers, Angie Barlow, Jacob Cartwright, Jennings B, Pearl Pinson. That was a crazy one. The person that knew where her body was, they killed in a shootout, so they weren't able to ever find her. That was weird too, because I think she was just on her way to school or something. Remember that one? Kuykendall. Don't remember that one. Lyric and Elizabeth Cook, way up there. I've moved the Delphi one down to the bottom, but that's how long ago. Springfield serial killer, Boston missing men. I think people just get drunk and fall off the docks there. That's a serial killer. Yeah. Victoria Lynn Prokopowicz. I don't even know how to say that. Sarah Heinrich Christie. I'll tell you the crazy one. Remember that one? We were just randomly covering like the Girl Scout murder or something from like 1957 or something. And we were just randomly covered it. And then I did a live stream the next day, just kind of going back over it or something again. And then I looked the case up again, and they'd solved it in the middle of the night after covering it. And then the next day, it says they just made an arrest. It's like, what? Made a case that old? You got to be kidding me. That was crazy. Or they didn't make an arrest. They DNA determined who the killer was. Let's see. Christy Mirak. Lucy Letby. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's crazy. Let's see. Molly Tibbetts. There you go. That was a big one, Molly Tibbetts. Right there. You guys remember that one? What's the oh boy for? Yeah, look at all this stuff. Like we nailed that one too. I said, you know, and that's one of the cases where people were stuck on something. It was like the red shirt. And I said, let's just throw that out. What does it look like now? And it turns out it's exactly like while she was jogging, somebody did something. And look at all these pins we have here. And then I think it was, where was that? It was right on the edge of town. Seems like out here. Oh, it was up here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so she's seen jogging. Where was that part where there was like a road and then we had surveillance footage at trial. Oh, maybe that's not even the spot. Man, look at all that crap we have in that case right there. Look at that. One, Jono. Yeah. I absolutely nailed that case, Jono. The Butler shooting. I found where all the shots were taken by each of the different people, slow motion, etc. If you make another comment like that, you're going to be removed. Okay? So do it again just for the hell of it so I can get rid of you. Yeah, I have been. They're not really calls. You have to go to the stream yards up there. So let's see. Yeah, they lived here, and then she went running. Oh, yeah, I was right there, right? I mean, that pink is the jogging route, I thought. And then I thought it was down this road here where she was abducted, but I don't know. Doesn't seem to... The pins seem to be missing from that. Yep, see you later. Granny's the... Wait, what happened? Oh, yeah, that one was the one that we removed. Yeah, just unhide them. I'm saying that if they make another comment like that again. Oh, there it is. What's going on, Grant?
How are you, Gray?
What's going on? G'day, mate.
Oh, that's a good attempt.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, right? It wasn't too bad, right?
Trust me, I've heard a lot worse. I've heard a lot worse over the
I know
years.
that was pretty shitty. Okay.
No, seriously. I have a friend, friends that do a Civil War show in Gettysburg, and they always try and do the accent, and they're horrific. So yours wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at least I gave it a shot.
So how's things been going? I haven't talked to you in a while.
It's all right. It's just everything's so slow, so hard every night, struggle.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to even get 200 people anymore, And it seems like, it seems like it's these like drama communities. They have this long lasting drama community, so they can just keep doing it. But I don't know.
Do you is it? I know you had a lot of people, like a lot of the conspiracy nuts when the Kirk case was hot and going. Do you miss it? Like, is it good to get rid of those guys, but then it's also slower? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I mean, like the thing is, at the beginning of this case, and the Kirk case, I got a lot of views. I got 500,000 views on a couple videos. Like they were doing well, and some videos would get 50 and 40. And now it's just, unless you're doing a conspiracy, you can forget it. You know?
Yeah. And I think I'm pretty. I know it's not good for business, obviously, but I'm glad that you've not resorted to going down that road, because the ones that do the grifters, they just they can't their audience gets so into the conspiracies, they have to go further and further into the craziness to
Mhm.
keep it going. Like as you were talking about just before, Candace accusing everyone, all these
Yeah.
different people she'll say, oh, this person didn't like Charlie, but then you think to yourself, this still doesn't prove they had anything to do with the killing. Like there's no
Yeah. A lot of people
link.
say, like in the comments she has, people will say, she's been right about everything. And I go,
Yeah,
are you kidding me? She's been
she's asking
disproved on
questions.
47 of, yeah, that's how they always word it. I'm just asking questions. That's just such an irresponsible thing to say.
Yeah,
It's like you aren't just asking questions. I mean, you're wording it that way. Like, I mean, I don't know if these are connected at all, but isn't it strange that there were 25 Israeli phones on campus, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how would you know that there were 20 Israeli phones there? Who the
and
hell
even if there was, it still doesn't shoot.
doesn't
It
mean
doesn't.
anything? Yeah.
That's the thing. If you try and draw them out and say, okay, even if what you're saying is true, it still doesn't mean it had any link to the trigger being pulled. And
Yeah.
it's just nuts. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I
I think
mean,
it's
the people, if you're in it, see, my channel is sort of a unique thing. Like I try to do true crime and do it the right way, and I try to raise income every single night
yeah,
to support my channel and be able to do what we've been doing. Like we're already at $270,000 in 6 years. I think that's pretty good, given
pretty
away.
impressive.
And so it's like, I mean, other people. I feel like the people that do conspiracies, their only thing is just to see if as many subscribers and income as they can get. I mean, I wish it'd be great to be like that. What I wish is like covering true crime the right way with the facts had the same level of interest in people in supporting channels and typing in comments in super chats and everything. Because when you watch those shows, every 5 seconds there's another super chat. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? What do you think about this and this and this? And this? And the problem is I guess when I'm doing it, I take out the question, like all these other questions, because we just do the facts and it's clear. You know what I mean? So the people that they don't really have a lot of extra questions. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a weird disparity.
because you're a no bullshit guy. You want to stick to the facts, but the grifting types, they invite those questions, but they've got no answer to the questions. They'll just say, oh yeah, that's interesting, and string that person along so that person will continue to give them money. They make this, just like Candace is the worst example. They make these terrible crimes all about themselves. It's always about how can I make it about myself and enrich myself. It's just so toxic. And
Oh, it's so weird when she Candace literally refers to other people as grifters. It's like, my God, Candace is like the number one. I mean, she makes. I'm serious when I say this. I think every day she probably makes close to 10,000 minimum, and that includes her reading her ads and just the number of views she gets. She makes a minimum of $10,000 a day because she gets like 500,000 to a million views, and all on way more on the Charlie Kirk stuff lately. And she sort of used Charlie Kirk to get a way more people watching. Like now she's the number one podcast out there. It was kind of interesting because I listened to Megyn Kelly's podcast today with Eric Trump in Miami, and Eric Trump was naming podcasters that are doing really well, and I could see that he was about to say Candace, but he didn't say it. He quickly thought of a couple others. It was pretty interesting. How he didn't bring.
These people have been elevated to a worrying degree. I think the amount of people that, because they're not just grifting on things like the Charlie Kirk case. It's the Israel Gaza thing. It's Trump. There's all these other things they're doing, and it's all conspiracies with every topic that they do. It's and they know they can string along and just it's just I think the popularity that in the last year or so of these people is just crazy. It just
it'd be great to be popular like that and just do what I do. I don't know what it is.
Could you live with yourself if you were like that?
No, I mean, it'd be great to be as popular, but just do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to worry ever. I wouldn't have to say, hey, guys, can you please help support the channel tonight over and over and over? It's just, that's the part that sucks. Like if I had even 2,000 people watching, I probably would never have to ask. It would just sort of, but now it's just to a point where there's so many people doing what I've been doing for years that it's just sort of like, and the way it works now is, I don't know if you remember, but like when I first started doing this, I could cover anything. And because there was only like 10 of us doing it, people would be watching and I get 350, 400 people just on a, random, just every single night. And then now there's so many dipshit, Tom, Dick, and Harry people just, oh, look at me, look at this. And they're terrible, but they build a community and people think, oh yeah, this is great. This is great. And this is great. And what happens is whenever there's a big case, everybody covers that. And then what happens, and then if you try to go do something else, you get crushed. It'll be like the moment you cover something else, they might show up expecting that you were covering it again.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they just all leave and you end up with almost no views on it. And so you're forced to then keep finding ways to talk about the popular case. And that sucks. I mean, it just absolutely sucks for the lesser known cases out there. But unfortunately, YouTube has sort of put everybody in that position that if you don't cover, because their algorithm works like, what are people interested in right now? What have they been searching about? And if everybody's typing in Charlie Kirk, hey, Charlie Kirk update, Charlie Kirk, and you have a case, Bob Smith murder, I mean, forget it, So it's really, yeah. That's kind of Zozo's, that's about right around that timing. And I talk about it, and it's antithetical to what I've always said. I've always said, man, I'm just going to cover, I'd always get like pissed at people if they just kept covering the same case over and over and over and over again. Okay, but those people, that was their only option. For me, I could still cover other cases, and then we'd still get 300-400 people watching. But it's become so inundated with other people covering the same stuff that it sort of creates this massive pool of I don't know. Everybody just wants to watch that, and everybody knows. So when you know a case, right, you just want to go onto YouTube and go, oh yeah, let's hear somebody talking about Charlie Kirk. Yay. And you just keep going and going and going. And then if there's a live stream when I'm talking that's about Charlie Kirk and you're more inclined to want to talk about that, and I'm talking about Bob Smith murder, you're not going to be here. It just sucks. That's what's the most frustrating. And I sort of saw the writing on the wall about a year ago, and it sucks because it's against what I was always saying, but everything has changed in the arena, and I sort of have to do that, so I don't know.
What was the very first case that got you interested in true crime? Was it like when you were a kid, or is it a more recent thing?
Well, no, I mean, I've always watched stuff like I don't know, Bill Curtis and all these different shows and stuff. But I think it was like 2012 or 13 is when I first started doing, getting really into making videos, and became a streamer, like a live streamer in 2017, which now is 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, when I say 2017, I don't think 8 years ago, but it is.
It goes fast, mate.
Yeah, the older you get, the quicker everything goes. Every week just flies by.
Yeah. But what do you think? What do you think the future is for true crime YouTube? What do you foresee it getting better or worse, or?
Well, I think it's where it is right now. I mean, look at right now. And this whole time we've been just like the last 40 minutes, we've had 0 super chats, 0 anything. And it's just weird because I'm still doing the show, right? But it's weird how that happens. I think the future is going to be where I think it's just more of what it is now, like the amoeba coverage, where everybody has to be covering the same thing, or you get hopefully there's a time where there's multiple. I mean, it kind of sucks that there's the crimes happen, but they just do. But there'd have to be like multiple big cases going on at once, and then you could sort of cover multiple cases, but you have to kind of stick with those, or you're just out of luck these days.
Did you ever think of looking at some of the big time famous, unsolved cases, like maybe one day a week or something like that? The classic cases that.
Yeah. I understand those, but people just don't watch those either. We've done those, like we've done Bundy. We've gone over Bundy's cases. We've gone over, and people just, it's sort of a lazy mentality now, where you sign on, and then you go, you have these people that have always they've been covering the case that you're focused on now, and then you come on and you'll just go click right over to the Charlie Kirk case, and not, oh, Bundy, yeah, maybe I'll check that out another day. Yeah. Now, hey, do you guys think Charlie ran over? That's how it is. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever. I don't know how it's going to get. I think YouTube should do something like a rating system, or somebody. Something needs to be out there where, you're sort of judged on how factual your coverage is, and those are the channels that get the. I don't know. I see, it's kind of dumb because on their part, they want what's ever viewed the most to get the most ad revenue as possible. So YouTube isn't altruistic. They're not like, yeah, man, it's the ones that do the facts that need to be covered. So let's promote these channels that are accurate, and even though nobody's watching, just for being sort of altruistic, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what the answer is. It's a frustrating topic. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I don't mind this idea. I know it's your show, of course, but this idea from this guy that says maybe do some shows taking apart what Candace Owens and those people do. You could probably do some good, I think, getting some information out there to, take apart these people point by point.
I mean, that would be a decent way to do it. Hey, where are you from in Australia? Zoza wants to know.
Queensland, which is a state. Brisbane is a city.
Mm-hmm. Brisbane.
Yeah, that's the fun. Yeah. Americans always say Brisbane and Melbourne.
Brisbane is Brisbane. Yeah, yes, it's Melbourne, and
Melbourne.
Brisbane,
and
Brisbane.
Yeah, I know. It's
right?
not. Yeah, exactly right. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. See, I know. I'm just saying it for the.
Yeah.
Melbourne, even though it's not spelled that way. Like over here, it would be Melbourne. Bourne at the end.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
there's a
although
Melbourne
you
and
guys
Florida.
Melbun. That's how you say
Yeah.
it. Melbourne.
Well,
Yeah.
there's the Melbourne in Florida is probably Melbourne, I would say.
Hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's Melbourne, Florida. That's how we don't say Melbourne, Florida. You would say it. Yeah, so that's a good idea. Like debunking Candace Owens.
And
Part one.
all the others, because there's plenty of, and I think people would love to see it because we that follow you have grown to really dislike these people, and I think it would be all a cathartic experience to see you, react. Maybe like watch one of their videos, react to it, and then go, just show us the facts on every point that they try and bring up. I think it would be good to put some of that info out there because, as I said, I can't think of his name, but there was like a big time YouTuber I was flicking through on the TV yesterday, and he was talking about Robinson disassembling the rifle after the shooting. And like, there's so many people that actually think that happened, and it's just yeah, it's disappointing that these conspiracy things come out to the more mainstream people. And I think someone like you would do a good job of fighting the good fight.
Yeah, I mean, just like, I get sort of nervous that you play her clips, maybe she would do something,
Copyright strike.
The thing is, I would just, if I don't know. I think there's a fair use. The troll channel, that's all they do is put all my content on there. So that's why they've got 2 strikes now. And I'm probably going to go after some of the videos that they have left and find the locations and get those ones. That channel, there's a channel out there that's all they do. I mean, they are losers who sit around and spend every minute of their day, and one of them's even a child psychologist, if you can believe that, who creates blogs and stuff about me because she wasn't made a moderator. That's it's weird how these people get these crazy. They're just nuts, and they're listening right now. Hey, how's it going? Go do something for yourself, for God's sakes. Yeah. Anyways,
they've got a lot of time on their hands if they've got time to do that. Loser is a good word for them.
Well, it's just so bizarre. It's like, if you don't like my show, just do something else, man.
Yeah.
The little community post the other day was almost creepy because it was like, hey, everybody, this has been a place for us to not be kept silent. What do you mean kept silent? I don't keep anybody silent here. If you come in here and you're a troll, you're removed. You can go comment anywhere else. Do whatever you want, man. It's so crazy.
I know, if you're a nice person and don't say stupid shit, you get to hang around. But, why should you keep around these people that are rude and, just...
Yeah, and they think they're not. But it's like, I never blocked somebody that was polite. That's never happened. What happens is somebody comes in and they'll go, oh, this is bullshit, Gray. You're lying to your viewers. I go, goodbye. See, Gray's silencing us. Yeah, what do you mean? You just said that. It's just crazy. You come in and say that, I don't know, man. It's just, they're hypocrites. They need to look in the mirror themselves, and they never do. So
I think there's a cottage industry of people who have a lot of time on their hands and dislike some YouTube person or like internet person, and they will spend a lot of their time, commenting on everything that person does or making videos about that person, or I just feel like saying to them, well, couldn't you put this towards something that would help you, help them, contribute to society, but they'd rather waste all this time and money just doing stupid. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's wild, and they act like it's like almost like Alcoholics Anonymous or something.
Yeah.
The way they do it. Like, it's just, oh, it's a place for us all. Just, I mean, really disturbing stuff, you know.
If
Yeah.
you like, how can you, if you dislike someone, why are you still watching every single
Right.
piece of content that they put out?
That's
Why do
exactly
you,
right. They
I
always catch,
just,
they always catch something. Like the other day, like this lady was in here saying, "Hey, have you donated to this charity?" And you know, these troll dipshits have called the charities that I. So every time somebody asks me who I donate to or what the charities are, I get an immediate troll vibe. And when she said that, I go, you know, maybe, you know, if you were somebody in here I'd seen before, I would have, you know, it made me. And then later I felt bad because I realized she probably was just talking about that. And so on another show, I just said, "Hey, you know, I'm sorry for saying that because I'm a normal person that thinks that
Mhm.
way." And then they go and comment about it, like, "Oh, Gray, look, he's trying to cover up for the thing that." And it's like these people are sick. I mean, they're just sick. Like you're literally following that little thread of conversation. Yeah, it's wild, wild stuff, man. I think, you know, like if these guys were in the UK, they wouldn't be able to do it because they're like stalker, online harassment, bullying types. You know.
Yep. They really put so much effort into it. I just always think, God, if only they could put that, you know, I'm sure most of them have pretty sad, depressing lives, and this is all they do. And if only they could put that towards something positive, you know, the world would be a whole lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. But you think I should do the kind of a debunking?
I think you should. Well, you know, it's a little quieter. I definitely think because there's not many people out there taking like I see a little bit of it on Twitter and all that, but not actual videos of, you know, because Candace, I mean, on her own, there's a whole mountain of stuff you could go through, of course, since the murder happened. But there's all these other ones, the TikTok ones and all that, that the arrogance they have about the knowledge they think they have. I just think taking them down a peg would be pretty valuable.
Yeah. Well, maybe you guys can send me things that you find that are just ludicrous. That might that might be a good way to do it because I don't watch TikTok that much. So maybe that would be a good place to like, you know, if you find a video on there, I can just go, "Look at this garbage."
Yeah, people should start sending you links to some of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I watch Candace. I mean, it sucks because I give her a see. I don't really, you know, the whole thing about giving somebody a view. I watch her to see what the next incredibly damaging thing she's going to bring up again. Yeah, because what she's doing is dangerous stuff. Like there's people out there that are probably in sort of, you know, trouble themselves physically because of her.
Yes, she puts targets on people's backs,
But
and
she's just asking questions, you know?
because her fans, and she does it in such a way that her fans say, "Huh, she's not actually targeting people or outright blaming them, but she insinuates in a way to make it, you know, we know this, the normal people know that she's targeting and blaming these people, but her fans are so stupid that they think, oh no, she's not
Oh
really,
God.
you know,
Have you seen
it's
her like in the well when it's live? The
no, never seen
people
it
commenting.
live.
If I was her, I'd make sure that the replay is not available because she has some of the most vile people I've ever seen. If I was that channel, I'd block every single. Like I'd probably be blocking 1,000 people a show because those are literally like, you know, Nazi supporters. I mean, unbelievable stuff.
That's what why when I said worrying is it just some of the it's not just the Kirk thing because it goes in hand with fanatics about the Gaza thing, Holocaust denying. It seems to be like this worrying patch of conservatives now that follow these,
Yeah,
follow Candace and her friends. There's like five or six of she and others that are just it's
Yeah,
just a
you know,
little worrying,
I think
the
she
growth
might
in
be.
popularity.
I think she might be trying to like run for president or something. Some kind of
And
high, like an office where she can get enough people backing her that she might like. She's trying to think like, well, if Charlie was going to do that, she wants to sort of replace him with momentum.
yeah,
That's what it feels like. Because what other reason is? I mean, what's other than money? What would be the reason she's doing this?
what would be her motivation other than money? And
Yeah, and that would be it, like power. She's really excited that she's the number one podcast. She's trying to sound really reasonable, and everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, wow, that makes sense, Candace. I bet most of them don't even think it makes sense, but they say it makes sense because I don't know. They want Candace to feel good, or they want to be part of a team.
they think they know what Charlie would have wanted or thought,
Uh,
or they know. Like I don't see. That's the thing. I don't know what if she's really smart and just doing it for the money, or she really believes a lot of the shit she says. I just don't know. But because she at one point I did see a video on Twitter where she's claiming Charlie talked to her in her dreams. I mean, she literally said seriously that Charlie is telling her stuff in her dreams, and I don't know what to do with that,
yeah, the whole
And
dream thing. What a joke. Yeah,
but,
like see, that's what I'm saying. I think she's trying to sort of insinuate that she is almost like Lori Daybell, like she's a higher being of some sort. She's trying to make people think that, because people look at Charlie Kirk like he was this very spiritual person, and then she brings up how Charlie had these dreams and so forth. And now she's trying to say that she has dreams too that have been revealed to her, and she's part of this higher level of human, like
yeah,
almost a deity level, because she
mm,
has these dreams, and he was betrayed, and he had these dreams too, and he told me in one of his dreams he was like they were going to take him out, and he was worried about it. But I have dreams too, because then she's trying to compare herself to him and put herself at the same level,
yeah,
and then it makes it seem like then she's trying to then transfer, using that as the bridge to get all these other people that were Kirk supporters to go to Candace, because now Candace is looking to the real killer, and it was the people at Turning Point that betrayed him. And guess what? His wife is now running Turning Point, Erica Kirk. So that's why I'm pretty certain that at some point Candace is going to have to try to take her down, metaphorically as well.
yes. I think, but the thing is, and I think Candace is also being so loud and vocal and doing all she can, because to cover for, if you look back in her past, she just latches on to whatever's got attention grabbing. I mean, she used to be a full left winger and like anti-Trump, and then she became a Trump fan, and then and then followed Charlie, and now she's like against him in some ways. It's just she has no real principles or beliefs. It's just latches on, and
Yeah.
it's all for attention and money, of course. But it's
Uh-huh. Let's see. I'm just reading this one. What does this one say? Sandy, I agree. The Gray is a priority. I listened to for years and couldn't support his channel at the time, so I do what I can at times now. Oh, hey, well, I appreciate it, Chris O'Connell. I really appreciate it. I know it's, there's some people out there that support my channel often, and I just want to say thank you to all of you who do that. I know it's not, I don't want it to be a burden on anybody. So if you're out there and you want to support my channel and you have the ability to, that's great. But like I say all the time, if you do not have the funds, do not help support my channel, just hit the like button, etc. And then maybe someday if you want to support the channel, that'd be great. Unfortunately, when people like me do live streams, that is the only income that there is, because the ad revenue, especially on a night like this with so few viewers, it'll be like $3 for the whole 3 hours, you know. It's crazy. Anyways, I just wanted to respond because somebody made that comment.
That's all right. Have you looked into the Garth Brooks case?
No, what's that one? I don't know anything about it.
It's just you know, I've got to go in a minute, but it was just funny. I was just reading the comments before how because a comedian I follow, Tom Segura, I think he was the one that originated it.
No, it's a joke.
That Garth Brooks, because Garth Brooks says some. I mean, he's great musician and all, but he acts very weird and says some stupid things, and so this comedian started the rumor that he was in reality a serial killer, and it's become like an internet like a viral thing. And it's just funny that people were mentioning it before, but that's funny. But it was good to talk to you, Gray, again. I'll have to catch up with you again.
Yeah, it's always cool when you call in. I wish other people would call in too, because it's nice having just conversations with the freaks.
Oh,
what do you got?
go.
What are freaks called over there in Australia? Just freaks?
Well, I don't. I think freaks is universal.
See, you guys, we're everywhere, man. They don't even say it differently. They don't even say like freaks or. Well, you probably use that. What do you guys always change words where you put like a Y or something at the end?
Yeah, like like your name, Hughesy.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
we would say Hughesy, or so like for freaks, we would probably say freakos. Add the O.
Oh god, the freakos. See, that sucks because that's what my license plate said on it, right? See, I had okay, let me just tell you this one really quick. See, my license plate said freak. You've heard this?
No.
My license plate car before said freak on it, right? And so, but my wife got that car, and then I got this other car, and then I put, but hers says freak 1 on it. So then I go, ooh, shit, I need to put, okay, mine's freak 0 I put on it. When I got it, it just doesn't look like a 0 at all. It looks like freak O. So it says like Freako on it, and then that just happens to be right during the Diddy trial with the freak offs. And people, I actually had somebody walk by my car, and they were like whispering, "You know what that means?" Oh shit!
I was going to say, people seeing a number plate like that would think you are up to some weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So then I went and did another vanity plate and changed it to something that that just sucked. You know what sucks about those vanity plates is you have to pay more every time you register your car. What a joke. Yeah. Who cares? What does that matter? You already paid for the damn thing.
It costs more to get one of those plates than
but every time you register it, it's more.
Yeah, that's the same here too. When you get when you do rego or registration again, it's always a little more when you've got your own plates like that. Mm-hmm. And but that's typical government for you.
That's right. But hey, great talking to you, Grant. That's my brother's name.
Oh, good name. All right, thanks, Gray. I'll catch you later, mate.
All right, have a good one. See you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I think what I was saying is true about Candace Owens. She is trying to make herself seem like higher spiritually and more in tune with God by using Charlie Kirk's dreams and trying to make it seem like she also has these revelation type dreams and they've got to be connected somehow. And then because of these conversations she's had, there's she just starts making all these connections that just aren't there. I think she's trying to create her own movement to replace Turning Point. You know that? I'm almost positive that that's what she's doing. She's going to, at some point, her and Tucker and some other people are going to start their own sort of Turning Point-esque like organization, because as you could see at some of these recent Turning Point events, all of a sudden, because of Candace Owens and the other idiots out there, they've convinced the students that Israel is this horrendously evil place, and they're all asking the same questions over and over, the same ones that Candace asked at these college campuses now. And so Candace is going to start that. I guarantee it. You watch, in about a year, there's going to be a new organization. And that's what it's going to be called. It's going to be, let's see, Sticking Point. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? What I just said. Right. That's why I'm saying she's trying to make herself almost biblical the way she's trying. Because right now, people put Charlie Kirk at some, higher level, like he's in heaven, and he's, he was already this bigger than life person, and Candace is trying to sort of join him in that realm, but she's still alive. You get what I'm saying? That's exactly what I picture when I'm watching. I just go, man, she's really suckering a lot of people here. Well, she'll probably get the chance because she's, it's not illegal. Yeah, I'm not. You said that already, Radical Quark. It's not really what I'm talking about. I wasn't talking about the Bible. What is the point of what? Yeah, Burning Point. Yeah, that's right. The hell. There you go. The new here we go. Check out the new organization by Candace Owens. Tucker Carlson, called Burning Point. Burning Point is a place where if you listen to, you'll go to hell in 5 minutes. Yes, you too watch Burning Point tonight. There you go. All right. Burning Point. Hey, by the way, do you guys watch that show, The Diplomat? I love that show. I don't know. It's on Netflix. They just finished season 3 with an absolute cliffhanger. And now I got to wait till the end of next year to have season 4. But man, that show is, it's the same people. Remember that one, The Americans? Remember that? That's kind of interesting. The Americans, The Diplomat. The show, The Americans, it's the lady that was on there, the Russian spy. But now she's an American she's the British prime minister, or not prime minister, the British, what's that called? When you're over there, you work at the embassy. What's the name of the, hell, I can't remember. Oh, you definitely need to watch that. So you guys haven't seen that, The Diplomat. Man, you guys are missing out, man. That's incredible. Yeah, this last season ended in a really bad place. See right there, The Diplomat. This lady right here, see? That's exactly what she looks like in just about every scene. And that's her husband, Hal, who's just this really clever also like an ex-diplomat, wife, a husband of hers, but through chance and bad things, he's now the vice president of the United States. And then she, prime minister. No, I'm talking about the person. God, what the hell, man? Why can't I remember that? Let's see. Ambassador. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I just looked it up online. And that's what Love Boston just typed in. Yeah, she's the ambassador, the British ambassador. And she, she's over there, and there's just all these little deals and things she just kind of works through. But her husband, Hal, he's somebody that he's always kind of working an angle by himself, causing a lot of problems. And I don't know, man. If I was you guys, I'd go watch season 1, 2, 3 right away. And then you'll come back and thank me. Just don't watch it during my show, okay? All right. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to do the spin tonight, too. Just one. Tonight's just going to be one notebook spin. All right, let's see. Where is it? I don't know if she's from Grey's Anatomy. I don't know. She was on the show of The Americans. You remember that? They were 2 Russian spies in the 80s. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. Christine, didn't you just win? Hey, have you won one, Chris O'Connell? Have you won one? You still out there? Oh, you want to spin again? Okay, because you just won, didn't you? Let me see what happens here. Well, thanks. That was nice, Christine. Here's another spin. Look at that, Jeffrey Siddall. Hey, Chris O'Connell, have you won one? You did? Okay. Yeah, let me check something. I don't know. Did you send me your name? Yeah, you haven't done your. Okay, yeah, you got to send me your address. Yeah, because you're not on the list over here. That's why I was asking you that. All right. Well, there you go, Jeffrey. You got to send me your address. Email it to me. Which one of these was working? And there's maybe that one, I guess. So there's anybody in here that's watched the because they've even been approved for season 4. It must be doing pretty good, though. The Diplomat. You would think somebody, like one out of at least. All right, I'm just trying to get to. I just keep going down. I was up to like 179,400 or 680 subs. Now I'm down to 408. So it just goes every day, just down, down. Doesn't matter what I put out. Even on a great video, just the surveillance footage, I lose 3. I mean, why would somebody unsubscribe watching surveillance footage of, you know, I mean, like in a case, it just doesn't make any sense. It's almost like YouTube is just, I don't know. I have these purge times every year, so this might be one of those. It's not like people are literally leaving. It's just YouTube is clearing out shit accounts and stuff like that. So I've actually one year it went down like 1,500 and then it stopped. So it's like something they're doing. And you know, we get a lot of trolls that create account after account after account, and they're subbing to the channel. So those are probably all removed at some point. All right, thanks, Richard Watts, Wild Bill Wassman, Vivacious Val with a cat eye, and then Life is Driving, Lizzie Rob, Jeffrey Sidal. He won that just on a 5. Isn't that amazing? 1 slide pies. Dixie Hippie, and then Vivacious Val gifted 5. Then Lexi, you still out there, Vivacious Val? And then Lexi 918, Dixie Hippie, at Joan Bozic. You still out there, Vivacious Val? Wild Bill Wassman gifted 1. Allie Cake. Support with Stefa, who made a comment and never responded back. Misty Wolf. Jody Anita gifted 1. Then Christine gifted 5. Wild Bill Wassman gifted 1. Lisa V gifted 1. Grant, Christine, I gifted 5 because of you guys, and then Love Boston, and then Chris O'Connell with a cat eye. Anyways, thanks everybody for being here tonight. Appreciate it. And that's going to do it. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Thank you all for watching, and what I always say, until next time, where the hell is this thing? Be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. Yeah, they're clearing out the fake accounts. Stargazer idiot. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector, fool reflector, interceptor, millimeter and a spectre with a vector. On his with a respectrum, just remember injection. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you. Thank you all very much for showing up tonight to watch Grant Hughes Investigates.
Bye.